Merry Christmas! So, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk a little bit about standing leg action. So, when I first started dancing competitively, especially in the open level, at championship level, all the visiting coaches I would see would say, oh, you need better standing leg action, and they never used any other words to describe it. And I didn't understand what it meant. So I'm gonna use some different ways to describe it today that might make more sense to you, because they certainly made more sense to me when someone described it in a little bit of a different way. So firstly, what are the benefits of standing leg action? Well, you get to be a lighter lead and a lighter follow. So everyone knows what it means to be a lighter follow. I'm light in my partner's arm, I'm not pulling on him, I'm not hanging on him. But we also have lighter leads, which is more pleasant. I don't like to be manhandled to position. I like to feel where he wants me to go, and then I can comfortably place myself there, okay? So it'll help us be a better lead and a better follow. Competitively, flight goes a long way. So you get better marks for doing that. It looks cooler, it's more eye-catching. So when you have better standing leg action, it will give you better flight. So if you were to do the same routine as a couple with poor standing leg action, you would get farther down the floor. And if you think about it, just pure mathematics, if you lap the floor more times, the judges have more chances to see you and mark you. And especially in those early elimination rounds, half the battle is just being seen. And if you only get one lap and you're taking tiny steps, they won't notice you. Okay? Finally, if you have good standing leg action, you're going to end up with really organic, natural sway and swing instead of manufactured shapes using the top. And that'll happen naturally when you're using your feet to make those shapes rather than your waist or, heaven forbid, your arms. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some standing leg action tricks we can do. So we have some different movements, basic movements we can do in dancing. We have going forward with the hip, right? We have going back. We have going backwards, okay? We have a lateral movement. We can go sideways, right? And finally, we have a rotary movement. We can rotate. It depends what figure you're doing, in or out, okay? And there's different tricks we can do to make standing leg action better in each of those movements. Okay, so firstly, if you're going forwards, my suggestion is to proceed with the foot. The way we're built, you're gonna wanna proceed with the body and catch, but that's gonna be choppy and heavy, okay? So we're gonna let the foot go first, and then we'll arrive on balance at the last second rather than arrive and catch, okay? So whether you're going forward with your right foot or left foot, we wanna usually have a sliding heel action. And then we go. We always want to add a little extra slide in the end. That'll give you that much better flight, better standing leg action. This will take some repetition to develop that strength. It's not going to happen overnight. If you want to exercise at home, that'll help with that. I don't know if you can see that. So try and hold this as long as you can on each leg. Secondly, going backwards. I want to go on the top of the foot. So backwards movement, top, 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 top. That's going to give me better flight. I don't know if you can see that. Then if I go back on a ball, it's going to stop short. So ladies, you're going to end up blocking your partner and be quite heavy for him. Or leads, if you go back on a ball, you'll pull her and she'll feel heavy in your arms. So again, top of foot whenever you want to do a backwards action in your dancing, okay? Rotary action, that's the rotation. A couple ways I can do this. So for leads, usually you're going forward. It's preferable that you lead the rotation with your foot angle. So for example, this would be turning to the left, rather than your body flight, okay? So I think about going forward first on that heel, and I rotate the foot. That tells her where I'm going to go next. In this case, it would be a change of direction. Or what if I were turning to the right? I'm taking my heel, I'm delaying the fall of the foot. As soon as that foot falls, I'm done rotating as lady. I think we're done. And then you've got to shove it to position. So I don't let that front of foot fall until the very last second, okay? Same thing if I'm doing a rotary action backwards. Usually in ballroom dancing, I would use the outside edge. So that looks like this. Outside edge, and can you zoom in on that back foot, hopefully? Outside edge, roll, rather than ball flat. And for a rotary action, a rotating action, I want to do the outside edge, or possibly inside edge if I'm turning the other way. This would be an inside edge if I'm turning the other way. Hopefully that makes sense. And the final movement we talked about was the lateral. So when we first learned that sideways movement, we huck in place. That makes for a very heavy follow. It makes the lead pull on the girl so she can't put herself there gracefully. So when I'm doing this lateral movement, I recommend using the inside edge of your feet rather than the bottom of the foot. Okay, so this is pressing with the inside edge and I roll. Inside edge and I roll rather than flat, flat, flat. And obviously, any step in dancing is usually a combination of these movements. So you might have one step that rotates to the right. And then I might have a lateral movement, so inside edge. Okay. So hopefully that's been helpful, and you can certainly do these exercises at home to get that muscle memory, okay, of using the inside edge. Or do this exercise to get the balance and flexibility to go back. Good. And then finally, when you're doing that backwards movement, you are going to be tempted, whether it's man or lady, to take your body with your back leg line. So you are going to need to develop, cultivate a little flexibility in your lower back by making sure when you go backwards that you try to keep this body, I don't know if you can see this, my body is upright. It's not matching the back leg line. That will end up being heavy on your partner too, and suck out that standing leg action. So hope that's been helpful, kind of a different way to visualize your standing leg action, and that should make your dancing bigger and more beautiful and make you a lighter lead and follow. So thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next week. Bye.